Hi everyone, welcome back to Codecraft Academy channel. If you are coming for the first time, please do hit subscribe and bell icon for more technical tips and tutorials. So far we have covered creating, editing and displaying post data. If you haven't seen part 1 to part 4 videos, I recommend watching those videos first for a better understanding. In this part 5 video, we will add some additional logic to make our post data more useful. So social media feeds are typically stored by when the post was created, and they often display the post creation time as a relative description like 5 hours ago. So to implement this, we need to start tracking a date field for our post entries. Since we can't directly store a date object in the Redux store, we will track the date value as a timestamp string using newDate.toString to ISO string in the payload of our add new post form. Let's see how to do that. So here, just come here into the add new post form and then add date field like this. So to which I'm passing date in string format, that is to ISO string. Okay, I'm passing the date field now. Since if you see, existing post doesn't have any date. If you look at here, right, we are not displaying any date for the each post. Okay, so now I'm going to add date, that is the post creation time, to our post list section or post list page. But before that, what we have to do is we should even enter the same date value inside our initial state of posts. That is here. If you come here, we don't have a date as of now. So let me add date here as well. So before that, to add date here, I would like to use one library or import one library or install one library, that is date-fns. This is very useful to format your dates into string. Okay, let me install it first and then I'll add date field into the initial state. Okay, let me do that. Let me go to terminal and then type command npm I dns date-fns. Install this package. After installing this package, I'm going to add the date field or date value to the initial state. For that, what I'm going to do is I simply use one method from the date-fns library, that is a sub method which we use to subtract the given date with either years, months, weeks or days, hours, and then minutes and then seconds. So whatever the value you want to subtract, you can subtract using the sub method. Okay, let this package get installed first and then I'll use that thing. Okay, yeah, it's now installed. Go and import this sub method from date fns and then use this sub method to pass the, because we want to show like the post was created 10 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago like that. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass current date to the sub and then I subtract some minutes from that time so that it will show 10 minutes ago like that when it gets displayed on the page. Okay, sub, let me pass the date, that is new date, comma, for which I'm going to pass the minutes to subtract 10 for the first post entry and then convert that into string. to ISO string. Okay, this is for the first post entry, and I'm going to add for the second post entry as well. Here I'll subtract 5 minutes only. Okay, let me save this and then display the date field into your post list. Come here, and then after where it is, yeah, this is post, view post, post title, post ID, post title. Okay, post title and then user and then content. So I'm going to display this after the author. I mean, just let for now I'll create it like that. Let me see how it's going to display. Let's say span class name timestamp. Okay, now I simply add the time which we get from post entry, or which we just now added. Okay, for that let me call post dot date. Let me save it and then see now it's just, I mean, this is not, I mean, formatted properly. We do that, I mean, we create a separate component to format and everything. Right now I'm just showing you the plain date, how it looks in the post. So this is about our date when this first post got created. Now since we're gonna use this timestamp information across multiple components, that is we should use inside post list component, and then inside single post page component, where we're going to display single post on its own page. So I'm going to create separate component for this to format the timing and then display in your post. Before that, let me check why this is having much space here between content and then view post. So this is for post. Oh, instead of 4 it typed 48. Okay, now it's good. Okay, now let me create a separate component to display the time. That I'm gonna name it as time ago dot jsx. Inside it I'm going to, for which I'm going to pass the timestamp as a property. Okay, timestamp as a property. Timestamp. Okay, now inside here what I'm going to do is, let me define first one variable. Let time ago equal to empty first. Now if timestamp, that is if timestamp is not empty, what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert or parse the timestamp into date format. Parse ISO standard. Okay, parse ISO timestamp and then converting into date. After that, extract, I mean format or get the distance from the current date and then the timestamp. Okay, so that we can display the time exactly when the post was created. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm getting the time period. For that, I'm going to use format distance to now. Sorry, format distance to now, that is to current date, so current time I can say. So I'm passing this date to that method, which will give the time period since the post was created, and then the difference between when the post created and then current time. So by that we can display like an hour ago, 5 hours ago, like that. Okay, once I get the time period, and then I'm going to format and update into time ago variable. Okay, string literals and passing time period, and then ago. Okay, here I'm formatting into time ago variable. Now I'm going to display this inside this return component, return function. Okay, here what I'm going to do is I'm using span. So inside span, let me add here class name, timestamp, and then here I'm going to format it in, I'm adding some space between the author and then date, I mean the timestamp display. I'm going to display some space, that is NBSP, sorry, and then time ago. Okay, now we got the time ago component which we use to format the timestamp. Now we should use this time ago inside our post list and then see how it looks, where we are displaying our date. If you see here, yeah, here, right, just replace here the time ago, use time ago component which we created just now, for which we should pass timestamp, that is post creation date as a property. We already updated our initial state, right? Here if you see here, for each and every post entry there is a date field as well. So I'm passing this date as a where it is, as a property. Okay, now let me save this and then see how it looks like. See here, we see here now, if you observe here clearly, first post by John created 17 minutes ago. If you see here, second post by Alex created 12 minutes ago. Now let's see creating a new post and then see what it gets displayed. So for now, let's say what I can say, post to test date, and then David, copy this, post to test, let me date content, here also let me give some space, test date. Okay, let me update, let me save. Now go and see here, just less than a minute ago post to test date was created by David. Okay, this is with the date, I mean to display the post creation time. Now the thing is, if you observe here, this is the post we created latest, but it's not showing on the top. Generally in social media we should display the post created recently, that is the new post should be on the top, and as we go down it should display the older post, but here it's displaying the older post first and then latest is at the bottom. So for that what we have to do is we should use sorting technique to sort the post data and then display according to the latest post first and then older post. So for that what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply use one sorting method and then display the latest post first and then followed by the older post. Okay, for that what I'm going to do is, here we got the post information. If you see here, we got the post information, right? Now let me add one more thing here, const order posts, order post equal to post dot. Since see, we are actually changing the post data, right? For that, so whenever we are going to mutate the array information, it's better to have a copy and then apply your updates or changes on the copied data instead of directly updating the existing array. For that, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use a slice method which actually copies the array post dot slice dot short. So here a comma b in such a way that b dot date locally compare a dot date. So this gives us sorted post data. Now we should use this instead of post to display our post data. Where exactly we should use is here. We should use here, replace post with the ordered post. Now let's see here. Now if you see here, we are getting the new post created on the top and the followed by the older post. If you see here, this is 3 minutes ago, this is 16 minutes ago, this is 21 minutes ago. Okay, now we are done with one more feature, that is displaying the new post on the top followed by the older post. Okay, now what we're going to do is, we are going to add one more new feature, which is like adding reactions to our post data. If you see here, okay, before that, let me show you one more thing. See, now we are showing the time in the post list, that is main feed page. But if you go here, view post, we are not showing the time when it got created. Okay, here it's simply saying date content. It's not displaying anything here. So that is, it's showing on the title and then author and then content, but not date when the post was created. For that, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to update the single post page component as well. Okay, for that, what I'm going to do is, let me go to the single post page component here and then simply call the time ago component here, for which pass the timestamp post dot date and then save. Let's see now. See here, now even in single post page as well, we are getting the time. But let's say if I update edit post, now see, this is the post we are going to update. When I update, what is the time it going to show? Let me see that. Content updated. Click update post. If you see here, still it's showing me the 5 minutes ago. This is when we actually, but it should actually show like 1 minute ago, because we just now updated this. So for that, what we should do is, let me go to the edit post form, where it is here, and then here also we should pass date field in the payload section. If you go here we should pass the date in the payload section, so that whenever we update any post, the time will also get changed to the latest time when the post got updated. Okay, now we should update the, what happened, unexpected token, let me save here. Now let me go to the post slice, where I should update the reducer as well. when we update the post data, we are actually triggering post updated reducer, that is action. So if you see here this, so here we should extract the date and then update the date as well whenever we update the post content. Now let me save this and then update it now. Okay, what happened? Okay, let me see here. View post, not this. Okay, yeah, since we refreshed, whenever we refresh the application or re-render happens, it loads this initial state. So initial state, we are not storing the data when we created a new post since we are using the dummy data. So that we're going to discuss in the later part, where I'm going to use the local storage to store the post data and even load the post data from the local storage, so that whenever we add a new post, it will automatically store the data into local storage, and then whenever we re-render happens or whenever we load the application, reads that post data from the local storage only, so that we can persist the latest data or data in the local storage. Let me add now post to test date content, date, just date, David post to test date content. Okay, let me save this. This is less than a minute ago. Now let me update one of the posts data. Let me go here, edit post, here second post updated, content updated. Now update it. See here, now it's less than a minute ago. Before it's, now this comes on the top. If you go and check in the post list data, see now second post came first. If you want to see again, let's see for this post which is showing at the bottom. Let me update this and then see whether it comes to the top or not. Content, first post content updated. So this now comes to the top since we are updating it now. Content updated. Okay, let me update post and then go to the post list data. See here, now we got this. So now whenever we do updates or whenever we create a post, new post always comes on top. Okay, this is about adding date feature to our post data, or date feature or creation time data. Okay, now let's see another feature which is very useful, or I can say which is mandatory whenever you develop or design a social media apps, that is adding reactions to your post. See, this is our post. Let's say whenever someone in general social media app, we have a like button, share, or different emojis, right? Clap, hooray, like that. So now I would like to add those reactions to each post. One is in post list as well as in single post page as well. So for that, let me add one component to display the reaction buttons for each and every post data or post entry on main feed page as well as single post page. Okay, for that I am going to create one component. Let me start with adding component first, that is reaction buttons. .jsx. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to add reactions for each and every post data, for each and every post entry on main feed page. Okay, for that let me first get the reaction emojis. Okay, I'm going to copy paste the reaction emojis, so you can also copy from the, or you can see and type from here. So I'm copy pasting the emojis. That is, one is, okay, let me format it. Yep, now see, it's thumbs up, hooray, heart, rocket, and then nice. These are the emojis which I'm going to display for each and every post entry so that user can react based on his feelings. Okay, now let me add the day, sorry, let me add the code to display reaction emojis under each post entry. Okay, for that what I'm going to do is, see, as I said, right, this is going to display for each and every post entry, right? For if that is the case, what we have to do is we should actually use this outside of our reaction buttons component and then pass post data as a property. Post data as a property. Post. Okay, post data as a property. Now when we get the post data, what we are going to do is we are going to display these reactions for buttons under that post entry. Okay, for that let me first create reactions. Okay, this is reaction button. Okay, here now for each and every object dot entries and then they pass this object. Since this is not array, right, that is the reason we are converting this into array. Object dot entries. What is the error here? ENT here. Okay, dot map. I think something going wrong here. It's showing error. Okay, let me create one thing here. Let me do one thing here. Instead of directly displaying here, I'm going to use like create a constant, that is reaction this is not required. We are doing same thing, right? Okay, let me do one thing. Okay, now good. Let me remove this map. Okay, here what we are going to do is inside this reaction buttons I am going to map key value. So here if you see, this is a key and then this is a value, so I am getting a key value and then loop through them. Okay, and then loop through them. So for each and every thing I'm going to add a button. Here this is a, sorry, I missed here, one thing should be here. And then okay, for this what is wrong here? I'm identifier expected. Okay, let me try this button. So inside button, let me add a key since we are iterating, or each and every element should have a unique key, right? So for that, let me add key. Okay, and then so type should be button. Type should be button. Let me add class name for style. Okay, inline flex, item center, padding on x-axis 2, padding on y-axis 1, border color gray 300, and then rounded MD. Let's add text SM, text font size, and then font medium, text color, text gray 700, text gray 700, background white. BG white. Okay, now we are done with adding classes. BG white. Let me save this, and then what I'm going to do is, so whenever first now let me add this. Later we can add event handlers. First let's see how it looks first. So this is about the button, right? Now let me go and use this inside post list first. If I go here, I want to display before view post and then after content. So for that, what I'm going to do is, here I'm going to use reaction buttons, for which I'm going to pass the post data, right? That is post as a property, post entry as a property. Let me save. See here, now okay, it's not showing, it's not showing the emojis. Why? Oh, we missed value here. We missed value. We should pass value to the button. Okay, let me add value here. Let me this button. Okay, inside button, what I'm going to use, let me use value. Let's save. See here, now we are getting the emojis. Let me add some margin top here, margin top 2. Yeah, now we have some space. So now we are getting the emojis. So but after emojis we should display the count, right? After emojis we should display the count. That is, for that what we have to do is, we should add this emojis or reactions to each post entry in the slice. So here we are passing the dummy data, right? In the similar way we pass dummy data inside each post entry to display the reactions. For now let me add reactions. Reactions is a array reactions. Okay, let me add reactions object, for which I'm going to add the emojis. Thumbs. Okay, let me copy from here. one is thumbs up. Initially I'm initially I'm assigning 0 reactions for each and every. Second is hooray, data as 0. Third is hot, data as 0, and fourth is rocket and ice. Okay, rocket 0, yes, ice 0. So now I added reactions field to our post entry. Now let me copy this and then add it to the second post entry as well here. Now I added. So let me display this dummy data inside reactions buttons component. So for that, what I'm going to do is I am going to simply add one more span tag and then add values there. Span, inside it I want to display post dot reactions, for which I should pass key, which count you want to display. First, see, for let's say if it's a thumbs up, we should display thumbs up count. So for we actually have all the emojis into keys, right? So let me pass that key and then save. If you see now, see, now it's showing 0 0 0 0, initially all zeros. Now, but before that, what I want to do is I want to add some style to this count, that is margin left 1. Okay, yeah, now there is a space. Even I want to display space between these reactions as well. Let me add some style. One sec. Margin left 1. Okay. There is a gap, but okay, here I added. Let me add here. Yep, now we got, let me add 2 margin left. So yeah, this is the reactions. Now we are displaying the dummy data, but the thing is, whenever we click on this emojis or reactions, we should increment the count, right? For that, let me add a event. That is, whenever we click on button, that is on click, I am going to do, where it is, this is, yeah, let me format. I am going to add one event handler on click. What I am going to do is I am going to call a function that is on reaction click. Okay, on reaction click, for which I am going to pass which reaction got clicked. So that is a key. This is a, so let me define this. Yeah, that is the reason it's showing error. Let me define this event handler first. So let me come here, and then display on reaction click. What I'm going to do is I'm going to increment the count, right? For that, what we have to do is we are actually using reducers, right, to perform any actions. So we simply dispatch action from here to the slice component, so that it will, that respective reducer will take the action and then update the state and then return the latest value. So before that, what we have to do is we should add a one reducer here. So far we have only post added and then post updated So now let me add one more reducer here, that is, this is a post added, right? So after that, let me add reaction updated, reaction added, okay, for which state and then action or the arguments, that is current state and then action payload. Here action, that is action payload, okay. So here what we are going to do is we are going to update the reactions count based on the action performed by the user. So before that, what we have to do is we should pass two things from the action payload. One is post ID and then reaction, okay. For that, let me go to the reactions button. Let me go to the reactions button here. So whenever we click on any reaction, we should first get the post ID and then reaction and then pass it to the reducer. So in order to dispatch an action, you know, right? I mean, we can use dispatch hook, dispatch, use dispatch. So this will give access to your dispatch of Redux store. Now let me use this. So whenever we click on reaction, we should dispatch an action, that is reaction added, okay. Dispatch reaction, okay. Before that, let me save here and then I'll add the data, I mean that is the action what we have to do later, but now let me export it so that I can import there and then add reaction added. Let me import this into reactions button here. I simply use directly here so that it will automatically import reaction added, okay, for which we should pass an object, that is post ID, that is which post we are user clicked, that is which post user clicked, that is post ID, which we can retrieve using post. Since we are passing post as a property to this reaction buttons component, so I can access post ID using post.id, and then we should pass the reaction. So what reaction user performed, that is key. We are passing or we are accessing that reaction using key. Why? Because here the key refers to the reaction and then that value refers to the symbol emoji, okay. Now here what I'm doing is I'm passing the post ID and then as well as reaction whenever I click on the reaction button. Now what we are going to do in the reaction added reducer is we get the post ID post which is matching with the post ID and then update the reactions count for that post ID or post entry based on the reaction. So for that, what I'm going to do is inside a post slice, that is reaction added, first let me get the post ID as well as reaction from the action payload. Post ID reaction from action dot payload. Now we got the access to the post. So using this post ID, get the post from the post data, that is const existing post equal to state dot find post which is matching with this post ID, that is post.id equals to post ID, okay. Now we got the post. So if the post exists, that is existing post is available, then I am going to update the reaction count. So existing post dot reactions, and then pass the reaction, which reaction we want to update. Reaction, sorry, simply update the count plus plus. Okay, with this we are actually updating the reactions state. So let me try this and then whether it's working fine or not. See here, I'm clicking on here, it's working. Similar way, if I click on again, it's increment. So let me see, the same reaction should display when we go into single post page, but here it's not showing. So let me go and add this reactions button in the single post page as well. If we go here, where it is, yeah, after content, this is the content, yeah, here let me add reactions button. Reactions button, for which pass the post as a property. So we have access to post here, right? Post, and then close it, save it. See here, now if you go here, try for any post, whatever you do here, let's see, and then if you go here, same should display here. Now update here and then go to the post data. See here, it's updating. So with this we are done with adding reactions to, let's see whether we'll get it for new post or not. That reactions, when we add when we add a new post, whether we get reactions by default or not. It should be like 0. When we add a new post, we should get the data 0. Okay, third title, sorry, third title, author is David, third title, content. Let's save. See here, we are getting an error. Why? Because when we are adding post, we are not passing the reactions object in the action payload. So that is the reason we are getting error here. Let me go to the add new post form, and then here we should update our, what I can say, this payload which we are passing to the reducer. That is, whenever we are adding a new post, we should update our add new post form payload so that it will display, or it will display reactions by default whenever we create a new post. So let me add reactions here, and then default is, let me copy from here, where it is, we added in the slice, right? Go here, I'll default, yeah, let me copy and add it in add new post. So let me format, save it. Now we are, right, we added here. Let me refresh and then go back. See, now let me try adding. Test reactions, David, test reactions, content. Let me save. See, now here if you go, no, it should be on top, yeah. See, now we got the reactions by default. Let me say update reactions and then see here. Let me go here. Now let's say when we edit and then see, come back and then see whether reactions still persist or not. Updated, if I update, it still persist. Okay, it still persist, and then go to post list. See, now it's good. Now we are done with adding reactions to our post data. Yeah, this is for part 5 video. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe and like the video. If you like the video, please share with your friends. Thanks again. Thanks for watching.